Yo, what is up? It's your boy Panips, and today I'm going to be talking about the new horror film Primate, brought to you by the man himself, Johan Roberts. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, this movie caught me off guard and I was not expecting this movie to be that gory. But before we get any further, I will be doing a full movie spoiler breakdown review, you feel me? So hey, if you have not seen the movie yet, stop right here, go watch it, then come back and let's talk about it. So we first open up to some text on the screen talking about basically rabies and how we only have 48 hours to treat them before they are untreatable. We then meet my boy Lambert. Now Lambert looks like some type of zookeeper or caretaker for my boy Ben, the monkey. Now Lambert looks like he's coming in checking on that man Ben, but something's not right about this man Ben. Lambert's just trying to give him some medication, but he's not acting as his usual self. Soon after that man Ben lures him deeper into the enclosure, we finally get our first death of the movie. And man, oh man, it was brutal. I mean, literally, he took that man's face off. But then we get hit with an intro that kind of pays homage to all the Halloween movies. Yeah, you know the ones by John Carpenter. We then time travel 36 hours earlier to figure out how the hell we even ended up in this mess. And we finally start getting introduced to some of our main cast members. We have Lucy, the older sister, who recently just went away for college but is now coming back. We are also introduced to Kate, or Katie, her best friend. Now I'm not gonna lie, off the rip you can tell that these two have a pure genuine bond. But with this next one, I'm not too sure. Because to Lucy's surprise, we are now introduced to Hannah, the annoying, very flirtatious friend. You can already tell that Lucy ain't too fond of Hannah. But soon after they landed and they step off the plane, we are now introduced to Katie's brother, Nick. Did I mention we were in Hawaii? Now just keep this in the back of your head that Lucy low-key got a little thing for Nick, and she be eyeing that man like, all right, Nick, I see you. But we finally make it back to Lucy's crib, and I'm not gonna lie, Lucy got bread. She basically living in her very own MTV cribs. But there at the crib, we finally meet this man, Adam. He's deaf, played by a real deaf actor. Now, Adam is a famous author who be writing books, and we soon find out that even though Lucy just came home, he has a business trip he must attend to. So he'll be gone for a couple days. Nick and Adam are getting reacquainted, and we find out that Nick is recently single. Being the supportive father he is, he encourages Lucy to go make her move on Nick. But Lucy not on that timing right now. She's just glad to be home, and she wants to see her little sister. Meet Aaron. Now, little thing about Aaron got some pent up aggression against Lucy because Lucy left when shit got real. So as the sisters are rekindling their relationship, we finally get to meet Ben before the rabies. We find out so much more about this man Ben, in that he's a smart monkey that uses a tablet to communicate to humans, basically like them dogs on TikTok. After that, we get a one-on-one with Hannah and Nick. We find out a little bit more backstory about Lucy, and that her mom was a scientist who died of cancer. And we also learn that Lucy ain't the only one who got the hots for Nick. But as a polite gesture, my boy Nick hands Hannah a joint and sends her on her way to the pool. As Hannah's smoking a joint by the pool, out comes Ben. Out of nowhere, he snaps at Hannah. But luckily, Adam was there to save Hannah with his magical dog whistle, and then had the audacity to play it off that he's just weird around strangers. Bullshit. Adam soon takes Ben back to his cage, where Adam finds a dead mongoose. I'm not gonna lie, when I first seen it, I thought it was a squirrel. But then Ben shows Adam a wound on his arm that the mongoose left. The next morning, the dad Adam plays it off again and plops the dead mongoose down in front of the girls. Not while I'm trying to eat my Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And why are we not asking why was he holding it like that? Just sitting there bonding over it. But to sum up the conversation that was had, Adam about to dip to go do this book signing. But before he dip, he about to go send a mongoose to go get some test trials done. After a crazy lit montage of them getting turned up in the pool, the group of friends bond over a joint. But soon after, a little cat fight goes down between Lucy and Hannah. Because, oh, I forgot to mention, on the plane there were some guys with some corny ass riz. In my notes, I wrote them down as the Plane Boys. On the flight, Lucy got one of their numbers, but she didn't know that Nick was gonna be here, so now she's trying to mess up her game plan. Hannah dirty macking. But to interrupt this awkward situation, Katie gets sick and start throwing up chunks everywhere. I guess she can't handle her beer and her gas. Lucy, being the very supportive friend that she is, go to help her homegirl and to comfort her. Now that Nick and Hannah are alone, Hannah makes her move and they kiss. But not just before Lucy sees, and the look on her face is heartbreaking. We're now back at the start of the movie where Lambert is inside the cage with Ben, and we already kind of know how that ends. R.I.P. In the middle of the night, Katie finally feeling better, she wakes up to go get her a glass of water, but soon after she finds Ben. Before things get too out of control, Katie hurry up and calls Lucy. Lucy comes down to help Katie, but Katie closes the door on Ben, but when she opens the door, he's gone. Katie explains that something's not right with Ben. Now at this point, everybody awake. Aaron come downstairs too. All three girls soon discover the teddy bear soaked in blood. Then we hear screaming in the distance. It's Nick and Hannah. They're trapped by Ben, but here comes our girl Lucy for the save. Somehow with the rabies trying to take over this man's brain, Ben is still in there. He's trying to explain what happened with the wound, but this man Nick comes up with the dumbest plan to tie him up with a rope. How you gonna do that? As Lucy's maintaining Ben's attention, this man Nick sells the group and steps on a toy, alerting this man Ben. And that man Ben was not having it. But once again, Lucy for the win, saying, Nick, if you can't do it, I got it. But now with Ben locked up and the group trying to figure out what to do with him, a catfight breaks out in between the girls. But they not focused, they not locked in. This man Ben is obviously finna get out that rope. And like I said, he get out that rope. I knew the plan was dumb. I knew it. Right when he breaks out the rope, he charges straight at Erin, Lucy's little sister. And I mean, Ben takes the most meanest, gruesomest bite out of her thigh. And oh my gosh, she is left in agonizing pain, leaking all over the poolside. Like I said before, this movie gets gory. Hannah sees all this and realizes shit just got real. She tries to save herself, but Ben's like, nah gang, you here for the night. So the next plan that the group has is to just dive in the pool because obviously chimps can't swim. But now Erin's bleeding out in the pool and this shit looks crazy. But now everybody's starting to slowly realize that Ben has rabies. But wait, Erin just got bit. Does she have him too? Is she now infected? They know that the first thing that they need to do is a hospital ASAP. But now they're trapped in the pool. As the group huddled up in the water trying to keep Erin afloat, Ben asserts dominance around the poolside. But Nick got that dog in him. He got that demon in his eye. He want to be Captain Save-A-Ho and save the day. He gathers up the courage, he swims over, and his goal is push Ben off the edge and send him 20 stories down. Surprisingly, Nick actually pushes this man over the ledge. But then we gotta realize that this man Ben is a monkey. Nick is not. And inevitably, Nick is the one getting sent 20 stories below. Straight on his head top. I mean, top of the noggin. And what's crazy is this man Ben had the audacity to sit there and laugh at this man Nick. I mean, he really was laughing. So some time has passed and Lucy comes up with her new plan. She needs to get Erin out of this water, so she wants to get on a floaty. Me personally, I think that was a dumb idea. I mean, we already float naturally. Yaz could have floated like that. Mind you, the floaty that she wanted was already half deflated. But it was a success. She gets the floaty without Ben tripping out. Honestly, Ben's cool. But then she started to get a little too cocky and she sees her phone. Oh my god, maybe we can call for help. As she slowly reaches for her phone, a call comes in and that's what set Ben off. Lucy quickly grabs the phone, but Ben is right there ready to attack. But Katie is such a W friend, she know her friend not finna go out like that. She gets out the pool to distract Ben, giving Lucy just enough time to jump back into the pool. Now that they're all back in the pool with the phone secured, now it's time to call for help. But apparently the phone screen don't work, so now they panicking. But I'm just thinking, newsflash, hello, it's the big 2026. If y'all don't use Siri, hello? So the next bright idea they have is to use the recent phone calls. But the last people that they called was them corny boys on the plane who had no riz. But unfortunately, they're the only ones who pick up. Lucy blurts out the address and hoping that they come through to rescue them. But meanwhile, while the whole group is distracted, this man Ben done found a way to get into the center of the pool without reaching the water and snatches Hannah up by the roots of her hair. I'm talking, he was really pulling her muffin cap back blue. Luckily, she made it out alright and she didn't get packed up. Maybe a slight little headache. We cut to this man Adam at his book signing. The vet calls him. This man, thinking he too good for the phone call, declines. But W vet, because she said, you know what, you gonna decline my call, I'ma text you. And we find out that the mongoose that got into the cage actually does have rabies. But then this man again for the third time tries to downplay it again, like, there's no rabies in Hawaii. Serge, what did we just tell you? Cut back to the girls napping on the floaty and Ben is gone, so they're by themselves. Lucy gets a bright new plan to go and get the new phone in the living room. And you already know the dynamic duo. If Lucy going, Katie going with her. They make it to the living room. And one thing I must add, Katie, why the hell did you lock the door? You gotta have a fast get out. What if that man would have pulled up, you feel me? Now you gotta fidget with the door, like, hello? Shortly after that, they find the phone. But you already know something had to mess it up. One of the girls stepped on the TV remote and it starts playing Dora. Dora. You already know this man Ben heard that, so they hurry up and go hide in the closet. That's a damn shame. Imagine you get packed up and all you hear is Dora in the background. As they're locked in the closet, this man Ben pulls up and destroys the TV. I guess it's safe to say Ben don't like Dora. Now here's the part of the movie where they pay homage to The Shining. This man Ben breaks down the closet door, pokes his head through, just like the iconic scene, "Here's Johnny." But Lucy and Kate is hiding in the back of the closet behind some clothes out of his sight. After an intense moment, Ben leaves. They're safe. Lucy finally picks up the phone, and when she thinks she's in the clear to make the phone call, all we hear in the distance is, "Lucy, bad." This man Ben camped out on the ledge ready to attack, pounces on Lucy. I'm talking hitting her with the haymakers. But you already know Katie had to be a W friend and help Lucy out. Katie pulled up with the meanest hay batter swing with the baseball bat. They make it outside successfully and they lock Ben behind the glass door. And Katie's holding on to that door for dear life, praying that he don't break through. But 2 seconds later, I ain't gonna lie, yeah, he broke through. As Katie and Lucy are running away, Ben finally gets a hold of Katie. And unfortunately, Katie did not not make it out of this one. Lucy had to sit there and watch her best friend get pummeled. Hannah, realizing that Lucy is in shock, she comes to Lucy's rescue. Ben is just moments from attacking Lucy, but Hannah puts the rope around his neck. Now it's just a giant game of tug of war. But obviously we know who gonna win because you playing tug of war with the monkey. Back at the book signing, now this man Adam wanna be worried because he over here calling home and nobody picking up the phone. Oh, now you worried? Now back at the crib, the Plain Boys have arrived. Oh boy. The first thing they do, split up. Dummies. And the one with no shirt is so weird because who told you to just be jumping in random people's beds, opening people's fridge? You so weird. That's why karma was so fast to get you, because surprise, surprise, it's Ben. Now I'm not gonna lie, this scene made me a little uncomfortable, but Ben started getting a little nosy. Who is you? Why you in my house? Why are you in my owner's bed? But I guess Ben said his explanation was a little bit too long-winded because he proceeded to take his jaw from his face. Meanwhile, the other friend finds the girls. Now the girls are trying to explain the situation and they trying to tell him, but this man Ben interrupts their conversation by throwing the jaw of the previous boy, obviously sending my boy off into a frenzy. Ben go chases down his prey. Sad to say, Buddy didn't make it far, but oh lord, here go Hannah with her bright ideals. She think it's her time to escape while my boy over here getting pummeled. I'm talking Hannah turned into an all-star running back. She picked up the keys, the phone, and she was out of there. She makes it outside successfully and runs into the first car that she sees. But soon after looking at the keys and her surroundings, she realizes she's not in the right car. She's in the Plain Boys car. She quickly calls 911 trying to inform them about the situation, but gives no address. But who finds her in the meantime? Oh yeah, it's Ben, with the right set of keys. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this monkey's smart as hell. They're going back and forth trying to lock the door, but eventually he pops the trunk. Hannah tries to make it out, but to no avail. Ben got that ass. And I mean, in that backseat, he got her good. Back at the pool, Lucy tells Aaron that she's gonna go get help. Having to walk past her friend that just got mutilated, I'm not gonna lie, I know that was hard for her to see. As she's walking back up to the living room, she steps on a piece of glass and lets out the most ridiculous scream I've ever heard, letting Ben know where she's at. By the time she tries to take out the glass that's in her foot, Ben is already there. But just as Ben is about to attack, the dad comes home. And one thing I love that this movie did, being the perspective of the dad, was dampening out the audio to really feel like what it's like being in his world. Lucy tries to get her dad attention, but to no avail. And that man Ben was not having it whatsoever. He was damn near offended. He started hitting her with the two-piece, the mic. I mean, damn. All while the dad is just chilling, eating some pizza. But in the midst of Ben hitting Lucy with them combos, he stops. It's like he seems sorry. Lucy starts to realize, is there a way that I can get to him? Maybe, somehow, some way. But nah, that man eventually just breaks her arm. But Lucy ain't no punk. She takes it like a champ and she stabs him back in his wound, sending that man Ben into a crazy rage. But out of nowhere, here come Aaron to save the day. Well, not really, because all she did was show up and then run away, causing Ben to run after her, after Lucy just said that she was gonna go get some help for you. Now Aaron getting chased by Ben on a bad leg that she just got bit, so you already know what happens next. Ben catches that ass. And I'm talking about that man going to work, scratching her up, going crazy. But here come Lucy coming to protect her younger sister. And she must have embodied the spirit of a linebacker, because the way she got that man bent up off of her sister, man. Somebody give this girl an NFL deal. Back upstairs, Adam finds Plain Boy 1 dead in the bed with his jaw gone. Now he really understands that shit just got real. But now it's Lucy versus Ben. Ben hitting her with a two-piece combo and a biscuit. He's getting the upper hand and he gets on top of her. Ben reaches his hand in her mouth and he's finna do exactly what he did to Plain Boy 1 to her. But once again, my boy Adam with the magical whistle blows the whistle to get Ben's attention. Ben stops. Now it's a sudden standoff between Dad and Ben. Ben charges at the dad and he takes a bite at him. But to my surprise, the dad got hands. But unfortunately, Ben started winning. Not until Lucy like, nah, you ain't finna do that to my pops. She pull up with a shovel, and I'm talking about she hit him with the mean hey batter swing, just like her friend Katie, R.I.P. She get a couple good whacks in until that shovel break, and man, she gonna wish that shovel ain't break. This man Ben slaps the taste out her mouth. Now it's Dad versus Ben part 2. The dad smashes a bottle against Ben's head and then proceeds to stab him in the heart with the same bottle. R.I.P. Ben. The sisters embrace their dad and it's all over, or is it? In the distance, we slowly see Ben starting to get up. One last charge. Lucy's the only one paying attention. She sees it before her dad and her sister. She chooses to sacrifice herself, pushing them out the way. Over the balcony they go. But this time it's official. Ben is officially deceased. Now Lucy went over the balcony too, but she was luckily saved by Adam and Aaron. And finally, it's truly over. Aaron finally gets the help that she needs. The dad talks about how he wished he should have never left, and somehow he's magically forgiven because he's here now, I guess. And we finally get to walk into the sunset as a happy family. Or do we? as we hear Bad Lucy one more time off into the distance. But psych, it was just a cop playing with the talking tablet. It must be going to evidence locker or something, I don't know. And there you have it. That was pretty much Primate. Overall, the movie was super gory, super fun. I had a good time while watching it. And I'm not gonna lie, for that, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. And you know what? Around Halloween time, I might just put it on again. But if you enjoyed my movie breakdown on the movie Primate, let me know in the comment section down below or by tapping the thumbs up button. And if you want to see more content like this, just hit the subscribe button. What movie should I do next?